It was a Saturday. Yeah, it was a Saturday. So we were going to meet just for a casual meeting and chatting things under general in that meeting.
So you were engaging with him socially?
On a social basis, correct.
Okay. Thanks. The remainder of the chats, we dealt with 13 May and some of the dates just before 13 May. Chair, I'm not going to go through it again. There's more in there. It's more the variations of a theme. I don't think we need to go there, but I'm happy to, if the commissioners have questions.
As I said so quite early on.
Okay, thank you. So we do, however, need to return to the beginning of the chats because there's something that needs to be dealt with that is quite important. So, General, the page I'd like to take you to is page 10. Okay, at the top of page 10, it actually starts on page 9. You'll see it's a message from you. And you say to Mr. Matlala, I will be in Pretoria next week. I request that if things are favorable, let's finalize the contract for those guys who assisted us. You see that?
I see. Commissioners.
Okay, so what are you talking about here? Let's start bit by bit. Who are those guys who assisted you and Mr. Matlala?
Commissioners, I just want to check this message. Let me go there.
That's on page 9, General. So you'll see the sender, bottom of page 9, and then it continues on to page 10.
Yes. Thank you very much, Commissioner. On this one, I assume, if my recollection is well, that it was in line with the third party who was assisting him, whom I have referred to talk to him in relation to the thing of the risk management. If you look at page 3 at the bottom, when he was talking about the project, when I responded yesterday, it should be the very same people who have assisted. The language might be us, but it's him in the real perspective.
So you're saying that those guys are who again? It's the purpose,
third party.
A third party assisting with risk assessment.
Correct.
It's more than one person.
Yes.
And when you use the word us, you actually mean you.
You know, I'm saying in the right context, it's him, not me. We commissioners, sometimes when we talk, we happen to use not that English that is in the books, but it is not us per se, as both of us, but it is him in his contract in relation to the risk assessment.
I want to ask you to think about that a bit more, because you sent that message to him at 1957. He responds to you at 2003. So very soon after you sent him this message, 6 minutes later, he sends you this screenshot. Right?
correct?
And what is that screenshot a picture of?
It's a computerized screenshot.
Depicting what?
It's written SAPS on top, and then it talks about infrastructure, external data, what. Errors found on data set. Yeah, it's a computerized screenshot.
Yes. Do you recognize this? Have you seen this kind of screenshot before?
Where?
It's a SAPS computer system, isn't it?
I saw it when he sent me, the very same one.
You saw it when he sent it to you.
Yes.
Right. And this is a screenshot of an internal SAPS software. It's a computer screen.
Correct?
Yes. And it relates to information concerning his contract.
I won't know what is related to which or what. I don't know. It doesn't say this is related to Medicare 24.
Right. It just, it has numbers. It has sort of, I suppose, reference number. And it says invoices to be uploaded.
Let me check. Where is that? I'm not finding that, that what you say invoice to be uploaded.
You see, it says end of report
Yeah.
between tram lines, just above that.
On the right-hand side, General, just above end of report, right-hand side.
Oh, yes, I see it, Commissioners.
It says invoices to be uploaded.
Yes, Commissioners.
So this is an internal finance screenshot, isn't it? It's a screen of finance department software and information.
It looks like that, because I don't normally work with finances, but it looks like that.
Well, I mean, you can see it says South African Police Service at the top, and then infrastructure, external data retrieval, etc., etc. So it's a job card or an entry. It was a search that it seems someone had done, and it came up with this.
When I look at it, Commissioners, first thing I must put it in, Robert, I don't work with finances. I'm unable to explain it, what exactly it is and what it is doing. But when you show me that thing, invoices to be uploaded, in my mind, it tells me that someone was supposed to be paid. That is what comes into my mind. Someone was supposed to be paid. When you look at this thing that is written, invoices to be uploaded.
Yes, but it's an internal SAPS. It's it could be finance or supply chain management department, this information. Why did he send this to you?
I do not know why, but as I indicated yesterday, later far in front there, in my other messages, as I've testified yesterday, I think Tuesday, that he did tell me about his challenges of not receiving his payments.
Yes.
And I don't know why he sent this to me, and then how he get hold of it, because I also tried to check here the police emblem that I don't see it here, but I see it is written there, South African Police Service.
Okay, so he sent you this. Do you dispute that this is an internal SAPS information? Do you dispute that?
It can be purported to be, because these things people sometimes they reproduce.
Sorry, say that again?
It can be purported to be.
I'm not following. You're saying it may not be?
It
might
can be, it cannot be. So I don't want to say I dispute or I agree. It can be or it cannot be, but this is what he sent.
Okay, so he sent you this, and he says, let me know when you're around. So what did you ask him, what is this?
As I'm saying, later he indicated to me about his challenges, but I don't think I asked him what is this for.
You didn't ask him.
I don't think I asked him.
And you didn't ask him where he received this from. Did it not occur to you at the time? I mean, it's apparent to anyone who looks at it that it's an SAPS internal information, and it's a screenshot.
I don't think I asked him, but I believe if he's called here, he will be able to come and say where he got it, what is this thing, is it authentic SAPS document, or did somebody reproduce it, or what, I don't know, but he will have to come and testify.
Did you report this to anybody within finance or supply chain management to say, I'm getting this thing, it looks like it might be an internal SAPS finance information, contractual information, and you might have a leak? Did you report this to anybody?
No, I didn't report it.
Why not?
It never crossed my mind to report it.
Why not? When you see this, did it not make you think,
It
what
never
is this?
crossed my mind to report it, commissioners.
So you sat with this and did nothing?
I didn't report it, commissioners.
And when you spoke to him, Mr. Matlala, after this, what was the conversation? Did he talk to you about why he sent this to you?
He never told me why he sent it to me, but he told me about his challenges of delayed payment and those orders there around, I think, February, March, around there. I will have to check properly the dates here, but I don't know the exact dates, but he did inform me about these challenges of payments, delayed payments.
Yes.
Yeah, but I've never cross-questioned him about this.
So when he told you about his challenges on delayed payments, he just didn't talk to you about this. He just sent this to you without any conversation.
I believe, I'm saying we never discussed this document, me and him.
I don't believe that you are, again, being open and honest with the Commission. This is an internal screenshot of a computer screen to which only people in finance and supply chain management would have access. A private citizen, someone obviously took this this screenshot and sent it to Mr. Matlala. And the reason he sent it to you is for assistance on dealing with his payment of his invoices. As you say, he was talking to you about it, and he was seeking your assistance. What's your comment on that?
He never asked my assistant commissioners.
I'm also say to you that, again, in the person of your position and with your responsibilities, you should have reported this to the relevant person in either finance or supply chain management in head office.
I believe that is the advocate's view, but I didn't report it.
Now, I know the fact that you didn't report it. Do you accept that you should have reported it?
For me, it didn't make any sense. That's why I didn't even discuss it with him and everything, as I've indicated.
I'll maintain what I'm saying. I think you're not being completely open with the Commission.
Come again?
So I'll maintain what I said earlier, that you're just not being open with the Commission about this screenshot and what its meaning is.
Thank you. Commissioners?
Yes.
Are you moving off this page 40?
Yes.
Or 10 rather, page 10. General, that WhatsApp message at the top where you say, I will be in Pretoria next week, I request that if things are favorable, let's finalize the contract for those guys who assisted us. You say you say that the guys you are referring to are the risk assessment people that
Correct,
that you gave him to speak to.
Correct, Commissioner.
So did I then mishear your evidence yesterday or misunderstand it yesterday when I think you said all you did was just to give him the names, and what he did with them, you don't know? I thought that was your evidence yesterday.
I said I referred him to people who knows these things of security risk management,
Yes.
so that he must continue to deal with that.
Yes, and you had no further involvement.
I said whatever emanated from there, I didn't further ask him about, but this WhatsApp reminded me that when I asked him that did he finalize the contract of those guys, I was referring to the very same people, just inquiring, Commissioner.
So you got involved in discussions with Mr. Matlala about contracts for these risk assessment people. You didn't just give him names and carried on with your life and don't know what he did with them.
As I indicated, Commissioners, yesterday, in that we were talking under general, then I brought this topic of risk assessment. Then I've recommended this third-party person, people to do it, because I was of the view that he's going to call them, they must do a presentation and then do that. And then that is why I was asking him here about whether did he finalize the contract, meaning that in my context that they met and did what they were supposed to do, did they finalize their work with him in relation to his security company, Commissioner?
So you knew that he's dealt with these, he's been talking to them, they're talking about contracts. What I'm trying to establish from you is, after you gave him the names, what was your further involvement with this referral? Because the impression you created yesterday, and until you see this WhatsApp message, the impression that you have created to us, in my recollection of your evidence, is all you did was you just gave him the names of these people, and then that was your only involvement in it. When he says to you, I have met with a guy, you remember there were emails, WhatsApps, where he says, I've met with a guy, we asked you, what is this about? You said, I assumed he meant the risk assessment people, I don't know. So you gave us the impression yesterday in your evidence that you just gave him the names, and that was the end of your involvement. Now we have a WhatsApp before us where you're now talking about contracts. Maybe take us, tell us more. What, in fact, was the extent of your involvement with Mr. Matlala and the people that you say you referred him to for risk assessment?
Commissioners, here I was just making a follow-up. I
Yes.
didn't participate in the entire process. I was making a follow-up about the finalization of that contract. But it's not a contract that I am a partner to it or whatever. I was making a follow-up, whether that contract, it's just that maybe I utilized my English wrongfully when I say us.
No, I'm not at us yet.
Yes.
I'm still at the contract, because I would like to know, how did you know, as at the 15th of January 2025, how did you know that they haven't finalized the contract unless you were involved in whatever was going on? Why would you know that? It's not your business. It's Mr. Matlala's business, according to you, that you're referring him for risk assessment. How and why would you know that there's a contract that must still be completed between them, that must be finalized?
Commissioners, I'm saying I was making a follow-up.
Yes.
Yes. It is
To
not
finalize the
I
contract.
was making a follow-up if he did finalize that contract. It is unfortunate that I utilized the word us, but I was making a follow-up.
You are requesting him, General. You're not asking for an update. It's not an update you're asking for. And please don't say unfortunate use of language, of English. No, it won't work. You're not asking for an update. You say you request that we finalize the contract. So you know the contract is not yet finalized. And how do you know that the contract is not finalized unless you are much more involved with this than you testified yesterday, or the impression you created yesterday? You knew the contract is not finalized.
As I've indicated, commissioners, I wanted to know if this contract was finalized, because when we talked that time, he agreed to engage with them. He agreed to engage with those third parties. Hence, I didn't participate. Then I was asking him if this contract, he did finalize it, because the contract is a question of whether did they come, did they give him the thing, did he finalize it? I was checking if he did finalize it.
Okay. General, that can't be, and you know it's not. Your language is very clear. I request that if things are favorable, let's finalize the contract. You know that's not a request. That's not a request for an update. It's not an inquiry. You know as you sit there that in fact what this is you're asking Mr. Matlala, let's complete this contract. Let's do what is necessary to finalize it. You know that. And please accept that we also know what the English language you have used here means, because otherwise it's as if you're taking us for fools. You know, you tell us what you want, and then we're not reading the same text. In this text, you say, I request that we finalize the contract. And it says exactly that. So that's what it says, and I'm not asking you for comment further about it. That's what it says. It's language, it's clear. You're asking him to finalize the contract. That's one. Two, you say, for those guys who assisted us. So by now you have received, you know that Mr. Matlala has received assistance, whether it's his company or both your company, but you know from this text that assistance has been provided. So you further evidence that you are much more intimately involved with whoever you are referring to here, the third party, the guys that you are referring to. You have insight. They assisted us. It's not a slip of the English language. It's a fact you are stating, the guys who assisted us. So you are much more involved than you've let on to us. Lastly, the us, it's not a slip of the English language. It's not sometimes we speak us. You're speaking about something that you and Mr. Matlala are involved with these guys who have assisted you, and that you need to finalize the contract. That's what this text is. And please do not say to us things that suggest you think I think we've all done English, at least up to matric. And this is simple English. There's no difficult words that require a dictionary. Your text is clear. I request that if things are favorable, let's finalize the contract for those guys who assisted. And then us, you and Mr. Matlala and whoever else you are referring to. That's what it is.
And just one last point. Remember your earlier discussion with Mr. Matlala.
Do you wish to comment on this, General?
I was advised not to comment, and I'll take it.
No, I did not ask you not to comment. I just don't expect you to have a comment. You can comment if you want to.
I take that. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
I was just reminding you, your earlier discussion with Mr. Matlala on page 3, it can't also be a slip of a tongue, because he says to you, our project, meaning yours and his project. So it can be that both of you don't understand what us and I and me and we mean. Surely it cannot be. Your response to him is to thank him Your response is not, I don't know what you're talking about. Your response is to say thank you. You want to comment or simply accept that that's what the text says?
I don't want to comment because our context of the text are not the same. That is all. I rather remain silent on this one. I don't want to answer.
Well, the context will be the same because according to you, yesterday you said at page 2 when you were asked about the guy that I met very late, couldn't even notify you, I'm coming back again tomorrow, though he needs to give me feedback. You said that was the guys you referred him to for risk assessment. That's at page 2. That's what you said. It's the guys for risk assessment. And then at page 3 that Commissioner Khumalo is referring you to, where you say where he says, the guy I went to see really helped. I will tell you whenever you back the site. Monday, I'm starting with our project. Nothing is disturbing me anymore. You said that's the risk assessment. So, and then now at page 10, you say it is the risk assessment. So you're talking, according to you, you're talking about the same people. So the context is not different at all. And Commissioner Khumalo is correct to say, well, your explanation yesterday that the hour at page 3 could not have been referring to a project that you are involved with. When you look at that and then you look at this page 10 where there's a reference to us, it's clear what it clarifies is you are involved with Mr. Matlala, whoever else is involved, we don't know, but certainly with Mr. Matlala, you are involved in a common activity, whatever that common activity is. You tell us that common activity is the risk assessment, but we know from this it's a common activity by the use of plural. And we know from you that all these WhatsApps from page 2, 3, and 10 are about risk assessment. So it's exactly the same context and exactly the same story. Thank you.
Commissioner, General, before you respond, I just want to say that your own version, you now say that the context, your response is very curt in response to the question by Commissioner Baloyi, which is to say the context is different, and you leave it at that. But in paragraph 38 of your statement, you put those communications together. You say all of them about the same thing. So you say that yourself in your statement. So I just wanted to point that out to you before you respond to Commissioner Baloyi, but you may respond to her.
I don't have a response on this matter.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
I do not have a response on this matter.
You don't have a response?
Correct.
Okay. Commissioner, I'm moving off from that.
You may. Thank you.
Okay, last thing before we leave the chats, and that concerns the relationship between Mr. Matlala and your son and the assistance that he provides. Now I moved off it. I need to just find the page again, if you bear with me. Yes, page 7. In the middle of the page, you send a message to Mr. Matlala. And you say to him, "Good afternoon, brother. Did you meet with Tato?" And he responds, "Tomorrow. I'm waiting for offer to purchase first." Why were you asking him about meeting with Tato?
It is because he was He did inform me earlier in our telephone conversation that he's looking for Tato. He can't get hold of him. So when they met this, let me just go to the what you call. I'll tell you now. Page 7.
Yeah, page 7.
Have you found the chats?
Correct, Commissioner.
Yeah.
I did.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Sim?
So, do you want to answer the question?
Can you repeat it, please?
You asking him, did you meet with Tato? He says to you, tomorrow I'm waiting for offer to purchase first. Do you indicate in your usual way, thank you? And my question is about this conversation you're having and about the broader relationship between you, your son, and Mr. Matlala. So, what was this conversation about between you and him and the offer to purchase?
Look, I believe that he was updating me about what they are doing with my son, because when I asked him, did you meet with Tato? Remember, I testified on Tuesday that at some stages, he asked me if I know Tato Senona. I explained, and then he explored to me in relation to the business that him and my son were starting to engage on, and then I was very much happy with that. And eventually, if he doesn't get Tato, he will always come to me and say, inform Tato to call me. It's not, he never said, do this and this and this for Tato, but inform Tato to call me. They call, sometimes they meet. I was just checking if they met because I knew they were supposed to meet to do their own business.
So why did he say to you, I'm waiting for offer to purchase first? If it was not part of your business, it was just something simply between Mr. Matlala and your son, what would you know about an offer to purchase?
It doesn't need any rocket science. If a person is doing a business with your son, for him, if he decides to inform you about the progress of the project, sorry, I'm saying project, if it decides to inform you about what exactly is happening and where, it is good. But these questions that I'm required to answer here it's him. Why did he decide to do so? But I am saying I believe that he was updating me about what was happening regarding the business between him and my son. Okay. And then when you want my son, if he can't get hold of him, I'll get my son and say, please call Mr. Matlala is looking for you. Not going into details of their business.
Okay, so but you are facilitating the relationship between Mr. Matlala and your son.
I vehemently deny that. I'm not facilitating. Is a parent who is being informed about the progress of a business venture that his or her son is doing with another business person.
He was keeping you updated as a parent.
Absolutely true.
And it was necessary for him to keep doing this. So you were aware of, because he was updating you, you were aware of these engagements between him and your son.
He will update me as and when he deems it fit, but he was not obliged to.
And then if you go to page 16, in fact, it starts on page 15.
Yes.
And it's immediately after the video clip.
Yes.
On 6 February. So it's on the same day as that video clip. Remember, the video clip was of the person saying that we're going to cancel a contract with non-performance by the service provider
Commissioners, I think the issue of the video clip, we will still have to come to that. Maybe if we can finalize this humble request before we go to the video clip, because it will be my request that it must be played again, that video clip that we were provided with on, I think it's the first day or second day.
So I'm not going to the video clip. The point of my question is not, I'm just saying it's below the video clip.
But I think the point is fair, that the general, once the video clip played again, he was asked questions about it, and then we stopped that midway for the general to view the video overnight. I'm not saying that must be done now.
Oh, okay.
But all I'm saying is the point is fair, that at some point that should be done.
Fair enough.
Is that fair, General?
Correct, Commissioners. Thank you.
So then if we can get back to where I was. So on this, he sends you that video clip, and then he sends you this, again, it appears to be screenshots of a conversation with somebody from an estate agency about an offer to purchase. It goes on for a few pages. If you just page through.
Page 17?
You can, it
Because
starts.
you said page 2. I had
Page through. I said
Oh,
you can page through it, because
thank
it
you.
starts bottom of 15, it goes 16, 17, offer to purchase, 18, picture of a 2-bedroom flat in Menlyn. Is this the same building where you meet?
no.
And then on page 19, after sending you all of this, you say thank you.
Correct, Commissioners.
Right, so you're saying he's just keeping you abreast of his dealings with your son?
Yes, because after he sent this to me, I'm not sure he sent it to me first or to Tato first, but he sent it to both of us, which is that he was updating me, happily updating me. I took it, he was updating me about the progress they are making with my son, of which it is not me who demanded the update. Thank you, Commissioners.
I'll tell you what it seems like from the context of all of these chats, and I'll allow you to comment. When you read the communications about those guys, the contract assisting us, his messages to you about the screenshot, for example, invoices to be uploaded, what you're saying about he's got problems getting paid, he's seeking assistance from you, from others, we've gone through that already. All of that is in order for him to get progress on payment on his contract. And that's not entirely disconnected from him, from his ability to continue doing business with your son. I'm saying that to do business with your son and to assist your son on purchase of property, he needs to be paid. And that's why he was having these conversations with you about payment of the contract.
I'm not sure that I follow the connection with the purchase of the property. I get this about the assistance and so on, the meeting with General Mkwanazi and so on. I don't know how the issue of the purchase of the property gets woven into all of that. I'm not saying there is no way.
Okay, Chair, I was trying to
that
shortcut
that
through
may
it.
be done, but I just don't get how you...
Through it because of time. There's a whole lot more sort of WhatsApp chat between the son and Mr. Matlala, which the witness would have seen.
You see, the difficulty is the general may also be, I'm not answering on his behalf. If I'm confused,
Yes.
one cannot discount the possibility that the general may also be confused.
Well, maybe not. Let me not make any speculation. Let me simply ask a question and the general can answer it.
Yes.
And that is whether there is any connection. Thank you, Chair. Is there any connection between the engagement between your son and Mr. Matlala and the contract that he is seeking your assistance on for payment?
There is totally no connection, Commissioners.
And when, knowing that he is assisting your son, and I know that, Chair, this is something we went through a little bit earlier, I'm not going to dwell on it very long, but I must put it to the witness. Given what you said about taking distance from Mr. Matlala and your concern, did you alert your son to be wary of getting into business deals with Mr. Matlala?
The 5th of March, Commissioners, when the issue of being wary, by then, by the 5th, before the 5th of March, if my recollection is well, I want to check the WhatsApp between my son and Mr. Matlala, because I can, if she can assist me to look into where is that, those WhatsApp. Because as I've testified, this deal never went through, and then I've employed the commission to ask people to go double check. Since then, when this thing was stopped, my son and Mr. Matlala never communicated anymore. They never spoke, and he never updated me with any other thing.
So since when?
I'm looking for date. I want to check. I want my son's WhatsApp messages with him. Thank you, Commissioners. The last communication between Mr. Matlala and my son, I think it was 3 March.
3 March.
3 March.
Before the critical 5th of March.
Before the critical 5th of March. Then that was it.
Oh, okay. So you're saying they cut off ties, he cut off ties?
They never communicated any further, because I believe the issue of the business venture didn't go through. As I indicated, that currently my son is doing something else over and above the other things that he did before with other business persons. And I must emphasize there's no connection of this business venture of my son and my relationship with Mr. Matlala.
General, so you say this transaction didn't go through, this attempt to buy an apartment?
Correct, Commissioner.
This is the only business that they tried to do together. There was no other one that they tried.
The best of my recollection, Commissioner, yes.
This is the only one?
Yes, Commissioner.
Okay. And they were buying an apartment together? Or
yes.
Did they have a company that was going to be buying the property, or you have these two individuals, Mr. Matlala and Mr. Tato Senona, as individuals buying this apartment?
When I look at these documents here, he wanted the FICA, at one stage he requested the FICA documents of my son, but how were they going to buy it, register in which company or whatever? I don't have knowledge of that.
Okay.
I can't assist the commissioners with that.
All right. Maybe let me ask more clearly. What I'm trying to find out is, did they ever have a company together, to your knowledge?
No, Commissioners.
Okay. Thank you.
Can I, General, just ask you a few questions? Let's start on page 7 of this.
Same bundle, page 47.
Page?
Sorry, 7, not 47. The impression you created was that it was Ket Matlala who asked you if you know Tato Senona. But when I look at the WhatsApp text, 9 January 2025 at 17:39, it looks like it is you who is asking Ket Matlala whether he met Tato, your son.
Correct, Commissioner.
Yes. So where does Kat ask you if you know Tato Senona?
I testified on Tuesday, Commissioners, that in the latter part of 2024, I can't recall the exact date when he was asking me about my son, not here in January, Commissioners.
And what business do you say they were doing together in the latter part of 2024?
They were discussing this business. He asked me, let me just repeat what I said, Commissioners. Do you know Tato Senona? Yes, he's my son. What about him? We were talking. No, we are trying to do business in terms of property, in a property business. I said, oh, okay, you're doing business with my son. I'm happy. Congratulations. There was no WhatsApp talkings and everything with relation to that because we were together, me and Mr. Matlala.
So they were going to buy an apartment. That's the business.
He said business in property, and as things are unfolding, and they were sending these things to me, and then they were buying an apartment.
And then just for completeness on page 11, remember on page 10, we've already been through it. You had a discussion about a contract that was to be finalized with the people who assisted us. And then on page 11, you are having the conversation with Mr. Matlala. You tell him that you are around Pretoria. And then he says to you, the second last WhatsApp, afternoon, Duna. Can you please, Tato, to send me his FICA documents? I sent a message and called. He's not responding. So that's the WhatsApp you're referring to about the FICA documents.
Correct.
Okay. And then later on page 18, if we start on page 16, 17, 18, we can see that it was Mr. Matlala who was going to pay for this property. I think that much is clear from the WhatsApp on page 18, right?
I see here they are talking.
Because he's talking to the agent, and the agent says on the OTP under point number 34, can you state how you want to make payment? Do you see that?
I see that.
Yes. So from this, it's quite clear that it was Mr. Matlala who was going to make payment for this apartment.
I see here they were asking him, how do you want to make payment?
Yes.
But I don't know. I can't say yes or no or what was their arrangements there, Commissioners.
But that's what it looks like from this
It looks like, but I can't say that it is, Commissioner.
Yes. Because it leaves me with the impression that Mr. Matlala, the whole arrangement was about Mr. Matlala purchasing an apartment for your son. If you don't know, you don't know. If you care to comment, you can comment about that.
Commissioner, my son is a business person. Whatever he wants to do to get money legally so to support his family, I'm happy with that as a parent. Thank you, Commissioners.
You're not answering my question. My question is, it looks from these documents that Mr. Matlala was going to purchase the apartment for your son.
For me,
Sorry, my mic was off. Let me try and repeat. I was focusing on you and forgot about the mic. It looks from these documents that Mr. Matlala was going to purchase an apartment for your son. That's what it looks like.
maybe when Mr. Matlala is here, we'll respond to that. I can't respond to this. Thank you, Commissioners. But all I know, it was a venture, joint venture.
General, from what we have seen, Mr. Matlala appears to be a man involved in business or businesses on a large scale. You even see a contract of 360 million rand with SAPS, and there's mention of him also participating in the Tembisa contract, and he also has the CAT VIP protection services, and perhaps one could go on, I don't know. Serious businessman on a large scale. It looks very odd to me that he would have wanted to go on a business venture with your son for a single apartment. How much were they going to make out of that, sharing that between the two of them? It looks very odd to me. I would understand, we're actually shown a picture of a block of apartments at the bottom of page 18. I would understand if they were buying that block of apartments. But I don't know, the extent in monetary terms of your son's business or businesses. So I will not go there. I'll just talk about Mr. Matlala, to whom we've been exposed. Does it not look odd to you?
For me, it never looked odd, commissioners. I was happy that my son will get income to support his family. He stays at his house. He's 33 years of age. He's got a wife and his 3 kids. I was happy that if my son does whatever he does that can put food on the table, as long as it's within the law, I'm happy with that. I don't know, the commissioner is talking about why they don't buy a bulk of flats. So I don't know the nitty-gritties.
No. I'm not saying why. I'm not really making that point. My point is more. Why would they go on a business venture just for this one apartment? As I say, I know nothing about your son, the extent of the businesses and the monetary value and so on. But we've been exposed to Mr. Matlala. And I'm saying, perhaps let's just look at Mr. Matlala. What would the interest of Mr. Matlala be in going on a business venture with somebody to buy just one apartment? Yes, I do see that it says this luxurious 2-bedroom apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment nohal. But it just doesn't make, it looks very odd to me that Mr. Matlala would have been interested in such a business venture. What's your comment?
I've taken note of what the commissioner is saying. My comment is that I was happy that my son is getting a business that will enable him to support his family. The issue of oddness, I was happy that my son is getting work, because my son is in this business. He registered his company. He never worked anywhere other than registering his own company, trying to look for work there, look for work there, look for work there. When Mr. Matlala asked me about him, that this one of mine is him who went there to propose. And then I said, yeah, it's my son, and they continued. I've never said this is how it must be done and everything. It is just that him, Mr. Matlala, will inform me about certain progresses. And then he will tell me if he doesn't find Tato, then at some stages he'll say, I message, I call, I don't find him. Then he says, he called, it's fine. So why he decided to do that, Mr. Matlala, with my son to buy this one apartment there, I do not know, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Well, General, there is the, and I really am not asking, this first part at least, I'm not asking a question, but just making the observation, firstly, that, there's this oddity that it is your son that Mr. Matlala does business with. Mr. Matlala is your friend, is your brother, and yet he's never met Tato. He meets him randomly on your account. It has nothing to do with you. He comes to you and asks you, do you know Tato Senona? when in fact you've described him as closely as you have. He's your brother. It's quite strange that he wouldn't know that you have a son called Tato, but I do no more than mention it. But more importantly, at page 7, that WhatsApp message, you're the one that starts. Mr. Matlala has not asked you anything about Tato up to that point. You're the one that says, did you meet with Tato? On its face of it, first, certainly on its face, you have had a discussion with Mr. Matlala about Tato. On the face of this WhatsApp message at page 7 on the 9th of January. And this is really, when you talk about a follow-up, where you're asking for information, this is the one. You knew they were supposed to meet. So we know you do discuss Tato with Mr. Matlala. So on the 9th at 17:39, you say, did you meet with Tato? This is you initiating on the face of it. Well, if not initiating, you are confirming an earlier conversation about Tato. Now you want to know, have they met? And then he says, tomorrow. And then he says, I'm waiting for offer to purchase first. You don't ask, what are you talking about? And I hear you when you say, Tato is 33, he's got his own company, he runs his business. And I accept that part. But strangely, Mr. Matlala thinks you know about this purchase, even though Tato is a 33-year-old married man who's running his own business. Mr. Matlala says to you, I'm waiting for the offer to purchase first, so you know something about it. You don't say, what are you talking about, which I think one can infer. You know that they're buying an apartment and where things are at that point. And then when you then go to page 11, that WhatsApp message where he says, can you please, Tato, send me his FICA documents? I sent a message and called, he's not responding. Again, it's quite odd that Mr. Matlala would, through you, would make you a conduit about a business. His business between him and Tato, it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. But Mr. Matlala says, sends you basically, effectively, says to you, get Tato to send me his FICA documents. That's another oddity. And on the face of it, it suggests that, in fact, the business transaction is between you and Mr. Matlala, and Tato is brought in the middle of it to assist in that he becomes your proxy in that transaction. And I think one has to be fair to you and put that impression to you so that you can comment. So just to make sure that you understand what I'm saying, that you first say, have you met with Tato? There's nothing before that between you and Mr. Matlala that makes this message make sense. So we have to fill in the gaps. And the gap that I'm proposing is to be filled in is you've been talking to Mr. Matlala about a transaction that he will be doing with Tato. You have been talking to him. So now you want to know, have they met? Mr. Matlala says to you, tomorrow, I'm waiting to get the OTP first. It doesn't give you a story about the transaction. This is what I'm doing with Tato. So you know what OTP is talking about, but it's not your business, you tell us. It's of a 33-year-old son. He has no business discussing it with you unless you're involved with it. So the impression it creates is that, well, you know about this transaction. And then at page 11, he says, tell him to send me his FICA documents. The impression it creates to me, and I may be wrong about it, the impression it creates to me is that you are, in fact, the one that Mr. Matlala and Tato were buying an apartment for, or in relation to. You were the real beneficiary of it. And Tato would have been a proxy in this transaction. That's the impression I get, and I may be wrong. You may comment if you want to.
Thank you, Commissioners. The analogy is incorrect. I am not the proxy. They were doing business. I testified, Commissioner, that in the latter part of the year, it is unfortunate there are no WhatsApp or whatever communications there. The Commission is only having these ones that were extracted from the phone of Mr. Matlala. But Tatu, my son, is the one who approached him, Mr. Matlala. Mina, I was happy that my son will be able to make some means for him to support his family. I know what is happening in businesses. Sometimes the business blooms, sometimes goes down. So I was very happy. Once it goes down, as a son, he will say, Papa, I'm asking for money to buy meal. But I was a happy father. And then there's nothing of such a nature that I was, Tato is a conduit to me to benefit from that property. If I was the one who's benefiting, I wanted that property, it would have maybe been, you would see in the messages here that maybe I talk about it and pressurize him to buy the property and so forth. I knew they were buying property because when he asked me about my son, he said my son approached him, he wanted to have a business venture into properties.
Thank you, General.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Commissioners.
Thanks. Chair, I'm going to leave the WhatsApp chats entirely now. There's one more topic that we need to cover that emerges from the statement of the witness, and that's the Port Shepstone drug bust issue.
Commissioners.
Yes, General.
I have a request, Commissioners.
Yes, General.
My humble request is that before we go there, it's totally a new topic if we're closing here. My humble request, Commissioners, is that can we deal with the video, because the video talks to the charts. Then
Yes,
when we
yes.
close, we know
Yes,
we're no more
yes,
going
yes.
there. We're going to deal with the
Yes,
Port
yes, yes.
thing.
That's logical. That's logical. Yes.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. If my request, if I may address the commissioners, is that I want the video to be played again because I was asked questions.
Mm-hmm.
I was told that you take a document with a police emblem. A document with a police emblem is sent to you by a private person where it was in a meeting. I received that clip. I went through it over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it's my humble request that it be played again.
Yes, yes, General. Can it be found and played, please? Sorry. And General, will you be asking that it be paused, or do you want it to be played from beginning to the end without any stops?
I will be asking that it be paused, Commissioners.
All right, all right. You'll say when then. Thank you.
Correct, Commissioners.
Sorry, struggling. Should we? I see it's 8 minutes. I thought you were mouthing 5 minutes. Did I get that correctly? Then, if it's 5 minutes, that will bring us something like a couple of minutes before 1. Perhaps let's just adjourn for lunch then. Is that fine? And when we come back at 2, then you should be ready. Is that fine? General?
Commissioners?
It seems they're struggling to, I don't know whether to find or to play it. So I'm suggesting that perhaps we just adjourn for lunch and start playing it at 2 o'clock.
Am I at your mercy, Commissioners? I'm
Yes.
fine with it. Thank you.
Let us adjourn until 2 o'clock.
Thanks, Chair.